Hey guys, welcome into episode 4 of the San Jose Sharks rebuild. In the previous episode, we finished off our first run through with the Sharks. Congrats to the Minnesota Wild for winning the Stanley Cup in year number 1. We went through the NHL entry draft with the 9th overall selection going to us. We traded up and was able to acquire Matthew Savoy at number 4. We also managed to get Ivan Kulemin, a 79 overall medium elite forward in the middle parts of the first round. So a really strong first draft, but now we're at free agency, a big part of our rebuild this first season of free agency. And we're going to go after looking to fill out our bottom 6. Again, I want to do as bad as possible. We're not able to get rid of Karlsson or Vlasic. That challenge still remains, and we have got a ton of time left with them. That being said, I want to just make sure that we don't go out and get some all-star players because, again, I still want to try and go after some of the top-tier talent. This draft does have Connor Bedard and Mitch Cobb in it, so we are going to try and get at least one of them. So making sure that we do as bad as possible is still a huge priority. All right, without any further ado, let's get into the episode. All right, guys, so here we are. Like I said, we're at day number 1 of free agency, but there is something else that I want to take care of, and that is the coaching staff. We did lose our goaltender coach, and I want to show you guys what you should be looking for when it comes to coaches and everything like that. In the first episode, I walked through what kind of coaches you should be looking for in terms of the actual chemistry and what they've got here. The team fit for Zach Gordon right now is 62%, and you just want to go and look at the players that are going to be on your team long term. So Vlasic is obviously there. He's a perfect fit. But Couture, Meyer, Hertl, they all fit quite well, as does Karlsson and Ferraro. What you also want to do, if you hadn't watched that first video, go back and watch it, but your AHL coach should match up with as close as possible in terms of the line strategies as well as the biases, all of that. This perfectly matches our NHL coach, and the reason for it is that in the AHL, while you're bringing up your prospects and signing some players to help try and turn into NHLers, you want to make sure that if they match in the AHL, when you call them up, they will fit in the NHL. It's a very easy little hack that you can do to make sure that your life is extremely easy when you call those players up. There's nothing like spending a couple years grooming a prospect, getting him up to like 80 overall, then he comes up and he doesn't fit the NHL coach. So just be on the lookout for that. Now, as you see here in the bottom left, the goalie coach is an option for us. We need to hire somebody. So what you want to do when it comes to hiring goalie coaches specifically is you want to search for what they teach. So as you can see here, it searches for veterans, but as you go down, you'll find goalies. That is the only thing that really matters when it comes to a goalie coach. So make sure you go through and find the one that teaches goaltenders or specializes in goalies, and then look at their teaching stats. So Zoe Jovanovski, sorry, I read that wrong. Teaching is an A-, and her teaching specialty is a goaltender. So that is legitimately perfect. So we're going to go ahead and try and hire her as our NHL goalie coach, and that's legitimately perfect. So we'll see if she'll take our offer. We also need to hire a scout. When it comes to scouts, again, in this season or in this build, we're not doing Fog of War, so you don't need to worry about pro scouts. In the first video, again, I went through and told you guys how to just get rid of all of them and how to set up your scouts perfectly. So again, if you need a walkthrough on that, go back and watch episode 1. As we're looking through the scouts here, the only real one I would like to add to is more than likely Europe, just grabbing one more person from Europe. And we'll take a look at, again, if you click in, you'll see the regions, and that's extremely important because while their overall might be a D, the region that you're trying to scout for, so NLA is an A+, which is perfect. So we're actually going to try and find someone that's pretty well-rounded just in case, because it depends how many prospects are coming out of the league. So Malik would be the one that I want to try and grab, so we're just going to offer the max here, and Vaclav Malik, we'll see if they sign, and that would be perfect for us in terms of just the scouts as well as our coach. That gets that all taken care of. Okay, taking a look at our team and what we've got working for us right now. So we'll take a look at the forwards that we've got. So Hertl, Meyer, Couture, they're not going anywhere. We've got Dahlin, who's up to an 80 overall. More than likely by the start of next season will be higher. Balcers will start in the NHL. And then Ivan Kulemin, 18 years of age, a 79 overall medium elite. I think we're just going to throw him into the NHL because we do have a spot on our top 6 more than likely on the wing. and I really don't see why not. 79 is awfully high, and if we can get him into a good spot, we might be able to raise him up pretty quickly. We've got Noah Gregor as well as John Leonard, and then William Eklund. Eklund, I don't want to put into the NHL until he's around an 80 overall, and again, the reason for that is I want to try, if I can put him in the AHL and help raise his overall before he comes up, I want to see if we can get him a Calder. I think, again, Eklund is one of the most fun players to watch. If you're a Sharks fan, I can't wait till he's in the real NHL. He got his 9 games this season, and he looked awesome. So we're going to see what his overall is when we sim to next season. We've got Nick Merkley, Matt Nieto, Cole Sillinger, who we traded for, really stole from the Columbus Blue Jackets. And again, we'll have to wait and see as he played in the AHL in this past season for us. We'll see what his overall jumps up to. So we do have some needs on forward, just signing a couple bottom 6 guys that would fit the roster. We've got 39 out of 50 contracts. Be sure to take note of that. Again, if you offer up like 4 different players to sign for and you've only got 2 contract spots in free agency, the first 2 that sign will sign, and then after that, they'll just say they can't fit, so make sure you're wary of that. We've got $16.6 million in cap space, and I do not want to sign anyone long-term, so these are going to be one-year guys that we're going to sit in the bottom 6. On defense, we're actually looking pretty okay. We've got Carlson, Ferraro, Vlasic, Knizhov, and Middleton, and I really don't want to, again, move any of these guys. I think they're fine. We can't move Vlasic. We can't move Carlson. So we will try and sign a defenseman more than likely in the system. We've got Hadaka, Santeri Hadaka, my apologies. We've got Knizhov, and then Ryan Merkley. Again, we'll have to wait and see if he comes up. He is a medium elite at 21 years of age. We'll have to wait and see, though, because if he doesn't get into like the high 70s, low 80s, then I'd probably play him in the AHL again this season. So we do need to sign some of them. And then we're just going to round out the AHL, get some talent there, replace some of the players that will be coming up. In goaltender, we've got Aiden Hill and Melnichuk. I'm just going to let them run. Again, we want to do as bad as possible. I don't see any reason why to go out and get a very good goaltender. Melnichuk is a low elite, so maybe, rough season to start for our last year. Maybe we see if we can't turn him into something. And then in the system, we've got Sawchenko and Goudreau, who we'll just let run again. We do need to re-sign potentially, but that'll come up next year. Okay, perfect. So let's go and take a look at what's available in free agency. All right, so at the top of the list, Andrew Mangiapane, a 90 overall, wants $10.4 million. Good luck there. Patrice Bergeron as well at 89 overall. He's going to leave the Boston Bruins. It looks like Claude Giroux, Calvin DeHaan, Valerie Nichushkin, Kadri. So the Colorado Avalanche lose quite a few good players, but we're not in the market for that. We want to scroll all the way down here and find some guys in the 80 overall range. Again, we are not trying to sign any impact players. We're just trying to get some guys that might fit the bottom 6, and we do need to sign a defenseman as well. So again, we do have some caps to spend. I have no problem spending up to the cap and overpaying for some of these players because they will only be on the team for 1 season. Like Zach Parise, for example, he does fit the bottom 6 forward line, so maybe we offer him a contract, and I'm okay with signing some of the legends. If we want to take on some of the old top tier players, I'm okay with that. What about Zdeno Chara? Does he fit? He fits the top 4, it looks like. That'd be kind of fun. Why not? Let's go Parise first. We do need a forward. Let's offer him a contract. No one else wants one for him, and I have no problem spending that for Zach Parise. Again, we're just looking for some lower tier players. Zdeno Chara as well on the back end at 45 years of age. Why not? Let's offer him. Pick him up, okay? Let's pick him up here. Chris Tierney, ex-Shark legend. He's a free agent. Why not? He wants 3 years. No shot at that. We'll offer him 1 for 1.6, and we'll see if he gets back to us. Now let's take a look at guys that want two-way deals. So what you want to do here is just go and sort by two-way. These are the guys that you're going to sign on two-way contracts. They don't go against the cap, so that is something that you want to pay attention to. And we'll just sort and see if we can find any gems for the AHL. Now, Cody Glass is a low elite. And wow, he is an RF. No, he's a UFA. Oh, we are going to. Wow. Absolutely. Why not? I would love to just sign him to a 1. What does he want? Cody Glass, a low elite 78 overall. This is actually just a nice selection. Sometimes there's going to be guys that don't really make any sense in free agency. Man, a 4-year deal. What would that get him to? Wow, that's actually... We'll sign him to a 3-year deal at 4.5 and see if he takes that. I'm completely okay with that. So I wasn't anticipating that. Dennis Malgin, who is 25. I want to look at guys that are a little bit younger. So like Lazat, for example, is 24. These are the guys because up until about 25 years of age, guys, they have a shot to go up in overall. Once they've hit 25, 26, they've really met their potential and they won't go up anymore, really. So that's something to keep in mind. So if you can find some guys that are under 25 that can play in the AHL, they have a shot to actually, you know, increase in overall. All right, so David Gustafson is 74 overall, low top 6 at 22 years of age. I mean, again, that's fine. I'll sign him to a one-year deal, put him in the AHL. And that's really it that I'm seeing here that I really, really like. Another kind of hack that you guys can do, guys, is if you go and hit potential, you'll actually sort and see what players are. If there's some steals here, because, again, so Matthew Phillips is a low elite. And again, how much does he want? He wants a two-way deal for 2 years. I mean, a low elite, sure. What's the harm there? And again, you can go down and just find some steals here. It's the best way to do it, in all honesty. All right, so we're going to advance a day here, a couple, and see if any of the guys that we sign will be joining the team next year. All right, so we did get an update. Zoe Jovanovski, really, really good goalie coach that I wanted, is not going to join. She's going to reject the offer. I don't feel the quality of the roster matches the challenges I'm wishing to take on, so that's tough. So we don't get our goalie coach. However, Vaclav Malik, the scout we were looking for, does accept our offer. So we need to make sure we get that coaching staff issue taken care of. And again, we're just looking for a goalie coach, which is one of the easier ones to do. And again, we're just going to go over to teaching, find a goaltender coach or someone that specializes in goalie, and then that has a high teaching stat. Man, my goodness. I wonder if we just offer... I thought we offered the max, so I really don't... Vincent Furland. Let's go. All right, Vincent Furland. Again, I don't play with owner mode on, guys. I just don't think it's very fun. So what you can do is just go to the max. Just go to the salary, offer the salary to max to all of these people, and they more than likely are going to sign. So we'll offer Vincent Furland one, which is basically the same situation. All right, so let's see if he accepts, and we should be hearing back from some of the players that we tried to sign. All right, so Vincent Furland does join. He wants to thank you for reaching out with an offer. Look forward to making an impact. So that's a perfect goaltender coach for us. And here we go. Zdeno Chara at 400 years of age, just kidding, 45, is going to be patrolling the back end for the San Jose Sharks. Good Lord, my man, retire. Zach Parise also joined San Jose. He'll play in the bottom 6. Chris Tierney comes back to the Sharks as well. It was actually really sad when he left. Man, that Carlson trade just... tough. David Gustafson does sign as well, so he will be in the AHL. Cody Glass does accept. I was truly happy to accept the offer. I'm truly humbled that you chose to offer me such a lucrative contract that won't let you down. You've really helped me set up financially. That's awesome. Somehow we were able to get him on a couple-year deal at 78 overall. He might jump up by the time of the start of the next season, and even if he doesn't, we can play him in the AHL. I mean, he's an elite potential, so really like that deal there. Matthew Phillips, another one with a low elite potential. I don't know how much he will grow because he is 24 years of age. We'll have to wait and see. So we did get everyone that we were looking for. We'll take a look at the contract status now. We're up to 44, so we do need to sign some more players. I like to get up to about 48. I don't like being at 50 because then it can make making deals in the future a little bit more difficult. So when it comes to forwards, we'll take a look at our center options. Hurdle, Tierney, Couture, Glass, and then we've got Noah Gregor and Sillinger, and we'll see what they jump up to. Left wingers, we've got Meyer, Dahlin, Parise, and Kuhlman, as well as Leonard. I don't know what we're going to do with Eklund yet. Balsers, there's only one right winger on the squad, but we can move everyone else around. Defensemen, it looks like we've got our 6 defensemen. We've got Carlson, Ferraro, Vlasic, Chara, Knizhov, and Middleton. And then in net, we've got Hill and Melnichuk. In the system, we've got Merkley, Weatherby. Let's take a look here. Cardwell, Chmelevski, Gadjevich. So our AHL team's actually looking pretty nice. What about on defense? How many defensemen do we have? Hadaka, Knizhev, Merkley, Paschenchuk, and not a lot of good defensemen here. We're going to have to sign some AHL defensemen. So let's go and take a look. We'll use up the last 3 contract spots that I really want to use on getting some AHL defensemen. So again, we will go... I want to take a look at where everyone else re-signed. So, okay. Looks like Mangiapane and Bergeron Giroux are still trying to figure out what they want to do. Two-way deal will go to defensemen. and we'll take a look. Let's see if there is any good ones. A low top 4. And Topi Namila was a draft pick from the Toronto Maple Leafs and a World Junior standout. A low top 4 at 70. Should jump up a little bit. Why not? Let's offer the 3-year deal. Absolutely. There's one. We've got William Wallander, 19 years of age. Is a low top 4, but only 67 overall, but does have a few more years to actually increase in overall. Like, 19 years of age at 67 overall is better than 70 at 23 because, again, just a lot less time to actually upgrade. I don't see any other younger players that could actually make the team. I don't want to put 60s in the lineup. I feel like that's just a little too low. Medium top 6. Medium top 6, 70 overall could be an option. Let's just see if there's anything else here. 22 years of age, Kronholm. Millman. Mason Millman. 4th round pick from the Philadelphia Flyers. That might be an option. All right, we'll see if we can get him on a 2-way deal. We do. That's what he wants. And then we'll look for one more. Let's go Sean Dursey. Why not? 2nd round pick from the Leafs. The Leafs just don't want their picks anymore. All right, let's do it. And we'll see if they re-sign. Moving on to the next few days, we'll go ahead and see if they re-sign. Sean Dursey does accept his offer, so he'll be in the Barracuda, as does Mason Millman. And Topi Namila decides to reject. Accept. My apologies, I read that wrong. So Namila will join the squad as well. Wow, okay, that's actually pretty sweet. We'll view the contract situation, and we're at 47. I don't think we need to go out and get anything else. We've still got 13.7 mil in cap space, but I think we've kind of locked up everything that we need to, and if there is anything else that we need, we can obviously just sign at the beginning of the year. So everything looks pretty good, and I'm about ready to sim to the next season. So the one thing we want to do is take a look at our trading block and just see who's on there. It's all picks, but I'm not looking forward to getting rid of any picks. Is there any other player that we need to get rid of? We've signed Hurdle to a long-term deal. Carlson, we can't trade. Ferraro's not going anywhere. Couture, Bordeleau. I think we're okay. I don't think that we need to move anyone, to be honest with you. We might be able to move Char at the deadline. Same with Parise, but other than that, I don't really see any needs. So here we go. Let's sim to next season and see where we end up. All right, so here we are at the next season, and we do need to make sure our captains are set. So Hurdle with the A, Couture has the C, and then Erik Karlsson with the other A. I'm actually, you know what? I think it's... Ferraro needs an A. And you know what? Karlsson's out. Ferraro needs an A, absolutely. So that is going to do it there. I'm sad we don't have Barabanov. If you guys haven't seen the game against the Arizona Coyotes recently against the Sharks, the 8-7 debacle, just go back and watch some of those goals, the Barabanov setups. Man, he is just an electric player. I'm so happy that they were able to steal him from the Leafs. All right, guys, so here we are, the start of year 2. We'll take a look at what the line's automatically set to. We're going to have to probably move some things around, but Meyer, Hurdle, and Ivan Kulemin at a +5. Do we set the rookie up to succeed right out of the gate on the first line? I think we have to. I mean, we got him at the 10 spot, and he just looks like he can fit perfectly there. A real shot. I would love a shot of the Calder. William Eklund is a 78 overall, and like I mentioned earlier, at 19 years of age, do we put him in the AHL for one more season? I kind of think we do. I think this year we put Ivan Kulemin up there and see what happens, and just try to get him up a little bit more before we put him in the NHL. That's kind of where I'm at with him. Balsers goes up here but doesn't fit. We've got Cody Glass, who's an 80 overall. Let's go. What a signing there. A low elite, and he sort of fits a little bit. And then Tierney, obviously here. Sillinger's gonna have to go down as well. Tierney really fits the first line, but all right, Zach Parise really fits the first line as well. I mean, we could go like this. It's not gonna work. Parise on the fourth line. What's Leonard? 24 years of age. He's really not going... He fits the team well. He's really not going to improve all that much. So I think we're going to... Let's take a look at who's scratched here. Gregor and Weatherby. I'm going to send Eklund and Sillinger down. Like I said, I want them to play in the AHL this season. Ferraro Carlson is still a good pairing. We've got Zdeno Chara, who does fit the second pairing. Let's go. All right, Vlasic really fits the second pairing. Oh my goodness, but what a... Ferraro's 84 overall, but we... no, I'd much rather have that. And there we go. Middleton with Vlasic. We've got too many lefties, but that's okay. We could go like this. And okay, I think we're all set here. In terms of the defense, Ferraro Carlson, Vlasic, Middleton, Chara, Knizhev, all +3s. So that works out fine. In terms of goaltenders, we've got Melnichuk and Hill, which is awful, but that's fine. We want them to be bad. And let's go ahead and make some roster moves now. We'll get rid of Eklund, and we'll put Gregor in. And then we'll also put Sillinger in for Weatherby. And again, that kind of makes the team worse, which is fine. Gregor is a center or a left winger, and Leonard can play both. That works out a little bit more. Bolsters is 25, is not going to grow. Leonard 24. Why don't we go like that and just see? There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, so the bottom 6, Cody Glass at 80 overall, Bolsters, Weatherby, Tierney, Gregor, Parise. So again, the bottom 6 is not very good. Either is the top 6, but we've got some hope here. And the defense actually is pretty solid, so we're going to be a defensive-oriented team. Let's go ahead and make those roster moves, sending down our prized possessions in terms of our prospects. Okay, I'm excited to see at the end of this year where Eklund and Sillinger end up. They should be ready. They'll be 80 overalls next season, I can guarantee you that. So now let's take a look at the AHL and how that shakes out. We're going to have to put those two guys in the lineup. Ozzy Weisblatt, the first-round pick from 2020 for the Sharks. He is 74 overall, so he is ready to make the jump. A couple of free agents that we did sign. Who do I want to get rid of? Everyone's so young. Lane Peterson's decent overall. Matt Nieto. We're going to get rid of Matt. Matt Nieto should not be here. We'll probably call him up to the NHL. Same with Merkley. 25 is probably it. Yeah, I don't see anyone else that's older that I want to... Merkley fits the second line pretty well. Who fits the first? Wow, Chemlevsky really fits the first, as does Eklund. Cardwell does not. Does Gushkin? I love Daniil Gushkin for the Ice Dogs. I mentioned that a couple times. Merkley, Chemlevsky, and Eklund does fit well. Thomas Bordelow's there. Our prospect pool got pretty decent. Adam Rask is a bottom 6, and Dylan Hameliuk is a high top 9. So we could probably get rid of him and put Sillinger in. That's probably the way that we're going to go. We also have a few more other good players to... Oh, bang, right there. Eklund, Sillinger, and Merkley is a +5. That is what we are looking for. Now we've got to figure out who we want to... Gushkin fits the second. Chemlevsky only fits the first. Gadjevich does not fit anywhere. Weisblatt is a right winger. I mean, I would like to put Weisblatt here. I don't think Gushkin can be medium top 9, 20 years old, 69 overall. He's probably not going to become anything. He's probably just going to be an AHLer, which is fine. But Weisblatt and Cardwell both have 78 overall. I mean, that's probably where the best way to do it. And Dylan Hameliuk's high top 9. Gadjevich is 77 already. And then in terms of who's scratched, we still have David Gustafson, who's a low top 6, but has a much better shot at actually doing something. He's a center. Wow, man, so many centers. Chemlevsky just fit the third line a little bit. Thomas Bordelos. We've got a lot of depth here right now. Like, this AHL team might actually be half decent. Okay. All right. What about on defense? Defense has not been good, so... Is there anyone that's scratched? Millman. Nope, doesn't look like it. So, Santeri Hadaka fits the second line. Deshaun Dersey. Nope, Dersey fits the first, but I want Merkley up there. And Namila fits the third line perfect with Knizhev and that's fine. A +5 right across the board there, +2 for Paschenchuk, and there's no other way. Perfect. Okay, that works for the AHL. And then in goaltenders, we've got Sachenko and Imond. Okay, we're looking pretty good here. So Sillinger, Eklund, Merkley, that +5, they're going to be playing like 80s in the AHL. They should tear it up. So here's hoping there. All right, guys, now it is time to make sure we get our scouting staff all set up. So much like I showed you in the prior videos, how to scout properly, I want to take a look and just do a reminder of the regions and what to pay attention to. So if you hit Y on change region or on the scouts, you can change the region and just take a look at what is going on. So I'll pick the CHL and you can see how many players from each region there are, and that's how you know what league to focus on. So there's 95 forwards, 60 defensemen, and 14 goaltenders in the W. And the CHL is really going to have the most, so it's all around the same. That's why I have 3 scouts for these regions. We'll take a look at the US region, because that one fluctuates quite a bit, as they've got USA West. Like, there's 10, 4, and 2, so the West is really, that's why they only have 1 for me. The Central has quite a bit this year, wow. And then in the East, there's really none. So what I might do is legitimately just move both of my USA coaches from the East and West into the Central this year, and that will help me, get a better sense of the draft class. From the Nordic region, we've got 5 from Liga, or from Alaska Van. Liga's got quite a bit, and as does the SHL. So Alaska Van, I'm not really going to have anyone. In Europe, we signed another one. DEL has no one really. Extra Liga a little bit, none from Ice, and then, yeah, so there's just not a lot there. Russia this year, they have quite a few, 45 and 29, and then rest of the world, there's really just none. There's literally 1 player. So, all right, so now let's go through, and like we always do, Tyler, hit me with some Jeopardy music, my man. All right, guys, so I'm just going through here, and like I mentioned when I was taking a look at the regions, just when you want to move some scouts around because the particular draft class that year does not really have any players in the region that you've hired the scout for. So I'll show you guys what I mean by that. So if you look at Lambert here as a USA East coach or scout, and we went and saw that there really isn't any players in the USA East. So what you want to do is hit Y or change region, and then you'll go over here to North America, select the USA. And then as you can see, again, the West has like 12 guys, the Central has a ton, and then the East has really none either. So you go there and then go ahead and hit that. So change the region there. And then go ahead and just do what you were normally doing and scout the players that you're looking for in that region. All right, guys, so as you can see, if you remember back in that first video when I walked you through what to do with scouting, in the top right, the estimated date, that first, we want to do it in 3 sections. That first one ending around January 1st. Once you've done that, go to April 1st and then up to the draft, and that way you can actually refresh and get as much of the draft class scouted in terms of potential that you possibly can. And again, this is the most effective way to do it. So if you need any help with looking into how to do that, the first episode will walk you through a little bit more in depth. But that's all taken care of now. We'll take a look at the draft class and the reason why this year is so important to fail. Well, Matvei Michkov and Connor Bedard at the top of this year's draft. We need one of them. I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that we get one, because these two look like it's going to be the second coming of Crosby and Ovechkin, at least in terms of rivalry. So we are going to do whatever we can to get one of them, and then we'll see if there's any other, kind of steals throughout the rest of the draft. Last year, again, we found Ivan Kulemin by just doing the scouting correctly, and he looks to be an absolute stud for us. So let's go ahead and sim through the preseason and get ready for the start of next season. All right, guys, we are all set to go here at the start of this year. We are going to sim a few months in and see where we can get. Ivan Kulemin is going to be the player to watch for this year in our sim, as we want to see if we can get our first shot at the Calder. This is the first real shot at it. The rest of the team is not very good, but again, the goal is to do as bad as possible, and with Aiden Hill in net, anything is possible here. So let's go ahead and we'll sim through about the first 6 weeks of the season and see where we're at. All right, so things started out almost perfect. We literally lost our first 5 games to start, and then we went on a win streak, and we're sitting at 6-9-1, good for 5th in the division. We're 3 points up on the Canucks for last spot, as well as the Sabres and Coyotes, so that's tough, but we're still near the bottom, which is huge. Erik Karlsson leading the team with 15 points in 16 games. Let's go ahead and get an update here on the rest of the squad. I'm hoping that Kuhlman did have decent. He's got 10 points in 16 games. That's not bad at all, as he does have 5 goals, 5 assists. So Karlsson with 15 points. And I'm actually pretty stoked about that because I know that this season is about not doing very well still. It's nice to see that while he is going to be an albatross of a contract for the rest of this series and in the real NHL, it's nice to see him do well. Meyer, our stud forward with 14 points in 16 games. And then Couture, man, Couture is just struggling in these sims. 8 points in 16 games. And then we've got Parise and Chara down there. Let's take a look in nets. And Hill with a 910 save percentage, okay. Let's take a look at the entire NHL and see where we're at in terms of forwards, as Evgeny Malkin with a 23 points in 14 games with Crosby, as obviously they are off to a huge start here. Johnny Gaudreau, the huge acquisition by the Ducks at the deadline last year, leading them with 22 points. Kadri's up there, Gensel. So, man, the Penguins are just popping off. No McDavid or Draisaitl in like the top 15. Let's go ahead and take a look at rookie skaters. And Matt Boldy has 16 points in 14 games. Jacob Perreault with 13 and 17. There's Shane Wright from the Arizona Coyotes. He's got 12 and 15. So we have got some competition, some stiff competition here, as Kuhlman's down here at about the 8th spot here with 10 points in 16 games. However, he is up there a little bit higher, about the same spot in goals. So we'll see how the rest of that pans out. When it comes to defensemen, however, Yossi's got 21 in 15. And then Karlsson, he's down there as well, but that's not a terrible start. We'll take a look around the NHL. Who's in first? Let's take a look at who is just in first in the league. And it's the Minnesota Wild, who've got just cap issues now after winning the Cup. Obviously, those huge buyouts for Parise and Suter starting to kick in now. It's going to be interesting watching the real NHL and how they work that. But yeah, we are in the bottom 10, so we do have a shot again at the lottery, but we've got to keep getting worse, and we'll sim through another 6 weeks, see where we end up. All right, guys, we are on Christmas Day here in year number 2. And again, we won a little bit, but we lost the majority, which is huge. We are currently in last in the Pacific Division with 25 points in 32 games. We are 3 points up on the Coyotes. We are about, 6 points up on the Sabres, which is tough, and we're clear of the Hurricanes. Wow, the Hurricanes are doing bad. Timo Meier leading the team with 28 points in 32 games. We'll take a look at the rest of the team, as Hurdle there, 28 and 32 as well. Kuhlman's got 22 in 32, so he's still having a very good season there, which is nice to see. Chara's got 11 points in 32 games. We might move on from Chara and just see if we can get anything for him. We'll take a look around the entire league, and it does look like we did drop some positions. It looks like, I would think. And yeah, we are third last, which is big. Again, we want one of the top 2 picks. So being in the bottom 3 gives us a better shot at the draft lottery. We need to be in the bottom 2. If we can get worst, that'd be huge because we guarantee it. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. We'll take a look at as well. Is McDavid woken up yet? Pretty crazy to see in a sim McDavid not around there at all. Where is he? Wow. 31 points in 34 games. What is going on in Edmonton? Holy smokes. Gensel, Crosby, Malkin. Like it's 2014 or something. Oh my goodness. Kaprizov's up there. Matthews, Gaudreau. What a weird sim this one was. Okay, we'll take a look at the rookie race, as Boldy is still leading the way. 35 points in 31 games. He has got a stranglehold on that. We did move up to 4th in points, though. And in goals, we are sitting in 4th as well. As, man, Oli Olivi with 11 goals from the back end. Wow. Tied for the league lead among defensemen or rookies. Not bad at all. Okay, guys, so I think we're going to end it there. I'm going to have to do the scouting for the next episode. But yeah, here is the team. We might move on from Parise at the deadline, as well as Tierney, because we did only sign them to a 1-year deal, so we might as well try and get something for them, as well as Zdeno Chara. Everyone else is just kind of doing what they, as expected. The one thing we haven't checked on, though, is the AHL. And currently not doing well there either. I thought we'd do a lot better, but 30th, we're 8th in the division, and Pastenchuk is leading the team in points from the back end. That is not good. As Merkley, man, our top 2 scorers are defensemen, and wow, what is happening here? Let's take a quick peek at the lines, because that's awfully tough, as we were looking for Sillinger and Eklund to kind of pop off here, and they have just not. Oh my lord, 13 points in 32 games. Sillinger with 10. Wow. Okay. Well, we're going to have to figure that out come the next episode, because that is just not going to work. But guys, thank you again for watching. Leave your feedback in the comments section down below, and I will see you for episode 5 of our San Jose Sharks rebuild. Have a good one.